It's Witness Wednesday, and this week, the treasure's been unlocked. What will you witness? Join us and see for yourself.
Much is given, much is required. You've given freely that holy water. Promise to honor all you are. Father, we thank you for all you've done. We're letting go.
Shalom Yisrael, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahusha, Barakatham. Tonight, we're going to be bringing forth Witness Wednesday, number 18, Good Decisions. And for those of you who have been watching the episodes, you know that this was coming. Last week, we did Witness Wednesday, number 17, Bad Decisions. And so we're getting the flip side. I gave you the bad decisions first to show you the consequences that come with those bad decisions. But now, we're going to look at the blessings that come with making good decisions. But first, we also have to understand, how do we make good decisions? If we lean to our own understanding, we might think that we're making a good decision, but really it could be wrong. Think of the breach of Uzzah, right? When he reached out to grab the ark that was falling, what was his punishment for that? Even though he thought he was doing what was right, it still led to his death. So we see in last class in Proverbs 14:12 that there's a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof is death. And so it seemed right to Uzzah that he needed to stop the ark from falling. So he reached out to grab it, to catch it, but that led to his death. That wasn't the right decision. Only the Levites were allowed to carry the Ark of the Covenant, none other. So that was a bad decision on his part, even though he thought it was a good decision. So we're going to go into this presentation and show you how to make these good decisions. Let's get into this presentation.
Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 19. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live. Verse 20. That thou mayest love the Lord thy God, and that thou mayest obey his voice, and that thou mayest cleave unto him. For he is thy life, in the length of thy days, that thou mayest dwell in the land which the Lord sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them.
So the Most High is setting before you life and death. Bad decisions lead to death. Good decisions lead to life. Blessings, cursings. Which do you want? Which do you prefer? Therefore, choose life. We're hoping that you make the good decisions, that both you and your seed may live. You have to understand the decisions that you make not only affect you, but your own children, your own family. I understood this since I was 17 years old when I first had Enoch. I was 17 when he was born, and I understood at that moment, I'm not living for myself anymore. I have to provide for this child that the Most High has given me. And so I had to make good decisions because he was depending on me. My child was depending on me. Now, we're going to see some good decisions here in verse 20. That thou mayest love the Lord thy God, that's a good decision. That thou mayest obey his voice, that's a good decision. And that thou mayest cleave unto him. Those are all good decisions right there. For he is our life and the length of our days, that you may dwell in the land which the Lord sware unto your fathers, to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So when we make these good decisions, it not only blesses us, but it blesses those after us as well.
Proverbs chapter 3, verse 1. My son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments. Verse 2, for length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee.
So we have to teach, well, first, we have to learn how to make the good decisions. And then this is something that we want to pass on to the next generation. We're teaching our children, hey, don't forget the law. Let your heart keep my commandments. For this will add length of days, long life, and peace shall they add to thee. You make a good decision of keeping them law, statutes, and commandments, and all of this is going to be added to you. Length of days, long life, peace. This is what good decisions bring to you. You don't get this when you make a bad decision. You don't get peace. You don't get length of days. You get death. So this is something that we have to pass on to our children. We have to make these decisions and be the example for them and teach it to them.
Verse 3, let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck. Write them upon the table of thine heart. Verse 4, so shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man.
Khan, let not mercy and truth forsake thee. That means don't let it leave you. Don't let it depart from you. Don't cast it away from you. Keep it with you at all times. Keep this truth with you. Keep mercy with you, right? You want to have mercy on your brethren, just like you would prefer to have mercy on yourself. So we have to be merciful to others. And in return, we expect to have mercy on us as well. Bind them about thy neck. Wear them. Show them off. When you wear that chain, you're showing it off. So let that truth be a sign to others. Let people be aware of it. That brother always knows what to do. He always makes the good decisions. He's always on point. You're showing it off. People are seeing, not in a boastful way, but you know them by their fruits. So it's evident to people that that brother has good decision making. Write them upon the table of your heart. That's the inner cup. So shall you find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man. You're going to have favor with men and your creator when you make these good decisions.
Verse 5, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding.
So where does this good decision making come from? Us trusting in the Lord with everything that we have, and we cannot lean unto our own understanding. That's where Proverbs 14:12 comes into play. There is a way that seems right to a man, but the end thereof is death. And I gave you the example of the breach of Uzzah, right? When he reached out to grab the Ark of the Covenant from falling, he leaned to his own understanding and he thought he was making the right decision, but it ended up being the wrong one, and he paid the price with his life. So we got to make sure we stick to what the Most High requires of us and not start to twist it and start to lean unto what we feel or what we want it to be. We don't want to create a false doctrine in order to justify our actions, right? That would be a bad decision. A good decision is trusting in what the Most High has commanded and what he has ordained.
James 1 verse 5, if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him.
So there's sincere error. You really just didn't know, right? You were ignorant. And so if you lack wisdom, if you really don't know what to do in a situation, pray on it. Ask the Most High, and he will give it to you. He doesn't withhold it. He's not going to be like, oh, I'm not going to give him no understanding at all, right? He's going to start revealing things to you as you start to study to show yourself approved. If you're really asking sincerely and you want to know and you're going out and you're searching to do it right, he will reveal some things to you, Most High willing. And we know that the scriptures don't come back void. He's telling you, he's not going to upbraid it. He's not going to hold back. He's going to let you have it. It's going to be given to you, right? So if you're lacking wisdom in discernment and making decisions, talk to the Most High, and he's going to give it to you, and he's going to give you abundantly understanding, wisdom, discernment, discretion, all of that. But you got to sincerely ask. I've asked the Most High about almost in every single prayer that I do um, in the morning for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, just like Solomon. Um, and not to just withhold it and keep it to myself. No, it's so that I can better serve him and also help my brethren better serve the Most High. So he'll give it. And we see the increase on brothers. We see brothers getting understandings and things being revealed. And that's only through the Most High working through that brother to have these things revealed so we can better serve him and make those good decisions that are pleasing to him.
Proverbs chapter 2, verse 6. For the Lord giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding.
Right. So we can't get this no other way. I can't go and just chat GPT and Google search and go read a million books and think that I'm going to be the wisest person in the world and try and bypass the Most High. That's a bad decision. The good decision is to understand that the wisdom is coming from the Most High. The Lord gives wisdom. If you're not going about it properly to receive it, then there's going to be a problem. Out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding, not out of influencers, not out of smooth talkers, not out of rappers or artists or um, TV shows or movies. Not saying you can't get some truth out of it, but ultimately, where the true and pure wisdom is going to come from is out of the mouth of the Most High. And what is his mouth? It's through his word. He speaks through his word. He spoke through his prophets. That's why the prophet means mouthpiece. There comes knowledge and understanding. So when you realize that the Most High is utilizing his servants to pour out wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, because he's the one giving it to that brother. So you have to recognize that the Most High is using men around you, and they're going to help you make good decisions because the Most High is using them to pour forth wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to guide you in the correct path, to be successful, to be a good decision maker.
Proverbs chapter 11, verse 14. Where no counsel is, the people fall, but in the multitude of counselors there is safety.
So if you decide to be an individualite and be alone and feel as if you don't need nobody to correct you, rebuke you, guide you, give you advice, counsel you, you're gonna fall. You think you know it all. You think you're better than others. You think you're smarter than others. That's gonna lead you to destruction. That's a bad decision. But in the multitude of counselors, there is safety because the Most High is using those men, giving them knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and they're gonna come together and have sound reasoning. You're gonna hear wise sayings. You're gonna hear knowledge coming forth. You're going to see brothers demonstrating wisdom with their responses and the advice and counsel that they give. And there's safety there. You're protected because the Most High is using those men. So we have to recognize that it is a very good decision to counsel on matters, that it is very important to counsel on matters with leadership that the Most High has set in place, and that you lean not unto your own understanding and despise counsel. Right? It's a good decision to lean on those that the Most High has put in place for a reason, and they're going to help you make good decisions. And remember, it's important for them to already be walking in good decision making, portraying it, living it, breathing. They will be living proof that they will be living proof that they have good decision making. And so you can trust that the Lord is using them, and you can replicate what the formulas that these brothers are using to have good success. You can replicate that.
Proverbs chapter 4, verse 7. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting get understanding. Verse 8. Exalt her, and she shall promote thee. She shall bring thee to honor. when thou dost embrace her.
Number one thing in decision making is going to be wisdom. Therefore, get wisdom. And with all you're getting, get understanding. How are you going to make a decision if you have no understanding of what you're even dealing with? There's times when I'm talking to my wife and she bakes pastries, right? And she asked me a question that pertains to baking. And like the scripture says, sometimes you just got to put your hand over your mouth. I don't have understanding with that. Now you can give me some numbers that pertain to it and I can help you there because I have wisdom and understanding when it comes to numbers. But when it comes to uh, cooking and the reaction of certain ingredients and things like that within the pastries, I don't have a lot of understanding and wisdom there. Can I go search for it? Of course. But we have to understand if I did have the wisdom, if I did have the understanding, then I would be able to help her that much more in her situation. So that's why you need to have a multitude of counselors because there might be a certain situation that one brother is not too strong in, but that other brother is very mighty, has been through it, and can give you firsthand testimony on what he went through and guide you in the right direction to not make the same mistakes that he may have made and can keep you and try and prevent you from going down that same path. And now he's helping you make a good decision and not make the same mistakes that he made in the past. And that's where you really get to rely on your brethren and the wisdom that they have. And so verse 8 says, exalt her, right? That means to raise up wisdom, put it on high, put it on a pedestal, and she shall promote thee. So now with all this wisdom, you're making the good decisions. Guess what? Now you're being promoted. Now you're getting that increased. Now things are looking good for you. Hey, it's a small, gradual, step by step, right? But you're taking those steps to getting built up. She shall bring thee to honor. Now you're accomplishing milestones. You're setting goals and you're getting them completed when you do embrace her. So you have to take this serious. It's not just, oh, I made one good decision and then I made 3 bad decisions. No, embrace those good decisions and be like, man, I just want to be on point with everything. Boom, 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 boom. But even when you're on point with a lot of things, there's still going to be a slip up, right? And so like the scripture says, a just man falls 7 times. Hey, but get back up because that fall that you had, use that as a learning tool. And now you can also use that to help another brother that may go into that situation, that same situation or something similar to it. And you can teach them and help guide them to make good decisions when it pertains to that certain situation. And so everything works to the glory of God. You just have to see the lesson in it.
Sirach chapter 44, verse 1. Let us now praise famous men and our fathers that begat us. Verse 2. The Lord hath wrought great glory by them through his great power from the beginning.
Khan, how do you think these men became famous? And the Lord has wrought great glory by them through his great power from the beginning. These men got a name for themselves because of the decisions that they chose to make in their life. That's how they got to that status of being famous, renowned. They were used by the Most High. And so with the Most High working through them, he was able to show his great power through these famous men.
Verse 3. Such as did bear rule in their kingdoms, men renowned for their power, giving counsel by their understanding, and declaring prophecies.
Khan, mighty men bearing rule in their kingdoms. They have authority, they have power, but they recognize where it comes from, giving counsel by their understanding. They're wise, they have understanding, they have knowledge. They can even declare prophecies. And they receive all of that from where? From the Lord. These brothers' decision making are top tier. That's how they have got to this status.
Verse 4. Leaders of the people by their counsels and by their knowledge of learning meet for the people. Wise and eloquent are their instructions. Verse 5. Such as found out musical tunes and recited verses in writing.
Khan. So we see here, these are leaders of the people by their counsels. They're able to teach their people how to make good decisions. That's why they are leaders. They have a lot of experience. They have a lot of wisdom. They have a lot of knowledge. They have a lot of understanding. And by their knowledge of learning, meet for the people. It's good for the people to learn from them, to hearken unto them, to receive counsel from them. Wise and eloquent are their instructions. So they're building game plans for the people, and it's up to the people to receive it, such as found out musical tunes and recited verses in writing. So we know brothers that make music to this day, right? You got to be used by the Most High to perform such acts. And it's a beautiful thing for brothers to have that ability. And a lot of brothers that are able to do so, they're very mighty in the spirit. And so the main point here is these leaders have a high level of decision making, and they are able to pass this knowledge on to those that care to receive it.
Verse 6. Rich men furnished with ability, living peaceably in their habitations. Verse 7. All these were honored in their generations and were the glory of their times.
Khan. So remember in Proverbs chapter 3, we read that keeping those laws, statutes, and commandments would bring peace to you. Now we see here, it says, rich men furnished with ability. These brothers is talented. Not only that, they're living peaceably in their habitations. They get that peace from keeping them laws, statutes, and commandments. They get that increase. They have a home to live in, roof over their head, food on the table, wife, children. All these things are added unto them because of the decisions that they've made in their lives. The Most High is bringing the increase. All these were honored in their generations and were the glory of their times. Renowned men, mighty, doing what the Most High has required us to do. And so when you do so, it's evident. It's as chains upon your neck. Everyone sees it. Everyone's aware of it. But a lot of people can question, how did he do it? Or even be envious, covetous, right? All these things can come from you being in this situation as a renowned man. But where did it come from? We learned through this whole entire lesson so far, it comes through making good decisions, being obedient to the Most High's word, to his law, statutes, and commandments. That's what it comes down to. I set before you life or death. Hey, we hope that you choose life. If you're going through things and you're not reaching out to be counseled or to receive advice from the godly man, what are you doing? You trying to lean onto your own understanding and just keep failing and failing and failing and think somehow you're finally going to get it right? If you find yourself in a circle and constantly repeating and repeating and repeating, if you want to finally break that, you got to reach out to the godly man and get some advice, get some counsel, get some understanding, knowledge, wisdom, all of that, because that's what they're there for. The Most High has put them in place for a reason. And they've gotten to where they're at because of the good decision making that they have demonstrated to the Most High and to men. So you should be reaching out to these brothers and getting understanding from them, getting counsel from them, getting advice from them, because the Most High has set them up in this position for a reason.
Romans chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. Verse 2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God.
Khan. So this is our call to you, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh. One of the best decisions you can make in your life is to present your body a living sacrifice like Christ did, holy, acceptable unto Yahweh, which is your reasonable service. You should have this on your spirit, understanding the calling that you have to be holy, to be set apart, to be a child of the Most High, to be a servant, to be a father, to be a brother, to be a husband. This is one of the best decisions that you can make in your life, is to be fully set on presenting your body, which is not even your own. It belongs to the Most High. He has just given you that vessel for a purpose, and that purpose is for you to fear Him and to keep His commandments. This is your reasonable service. And do not be conformed to this world. Don't sell out to this world. That'd be one of the worst decisions you can make. But be transformed by the renewing of your mind. The word is going to renew your mind. It's going to give you a fresh outlook. Remember that circle we were talking about? You just kept going in circles and circles and failing. When you renew your mind, you're going to get a fresh perspective. When you reach out to brothers that can give you advice and counsel, you're going to have a different way of looking at that same situation. And most high willing, you'll be able to have a better outcome because you've made the right decisions, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh. The will of the Father is for you to serve Him, to keep His law, statutes, and commandments, to keep the faith in His Son. These are good decisions for you to make throughout your entire life, up until your last breath.
Sirach chapter 1 verse 12. The fear of the Lord maketh a merry heart, and giveth joy and gladness in a long life. Verse 13. Whoso feareth the Lord, it shall go well with him at the last, and he shall find favor in the day of his death.
Khan. You know, in this decision making, I had to put the fear of the Lord. Because if you have no fear of the Lord, you're going to go to and fro. You're going to get tossed by the winds. You're going to be double-minded. All these bad decisions are going to take place in your life. But if you do have the fear of the Lord, which is one of the best decisions you can make, you will have a merry heart and joy, gladness, and a long life. Why would you not want these things? Whoso feareth the Lord, it shall go well with him at the last, and he shall find favor in the day of his death. So with that fear of the Lord, you're going to have favor up even in the day of your death. Your whole life led up to that moment. But did you make the good decisions or did you make the bad decisions? And one of the best decisions you can make is having the fear of the Lord, presenting your body as a living sacrifice, understanding that the vessel that the Most High has given you is not even your own. It belongs to the Most High. He's just allowing you to use it to do His will. And so we have to not defile our temples. We know in 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 16, it says, if any man defile his temple, him shall God destroy. So why would you want to abuse what the Lord has allowed you to have? No, rather you need to take care of it. It is holy. You must cherish it, and you must be willing to learn from the leaders that the Most High has set in place to know how to conduct yourself, how to properly treat the vessel that the Most High has given you, and to put your trust in the Lord, family, and make sure that you make those good decisions, because it's not only for yourself, it's for you and your family, for you and your daughters, your sons, your grandchildren. It goes on and on. And so we look back to our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, famous men, renowned. There's a reason for that. Think of Abraham. He was commanded to sacrifice Isaac, and he had two decisions to make. One, he doesn't do it, or two, he does do it. One is a bad decision, one is a good decision. One is disobedient, one is obedience. We know which one Abraham chose. He chose to be obedient to the Most High, putting him above his own wants and making sure that the Most High's will be done. And so we have to be at a very high level of decision making. And I hope and pray that I can be an example to my brethren, and I can help them. And brothers reach out for counsel, advice, guidance, all of that. And I also reach out to my brethren the same way to receive counsel, advice, wisdom, understanding. And it has to be a mutual relationship. And so when it's a mutual relationship, now we can be equally yoked and we can benefit from each other. And we can all be prospering together because we're all making good decisions. And with that, family, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I really enjoyed bringing this out through the Spirit. And so with that, we say, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahusha, Rakatah, Shalom,
much is
Mashpaka.
required.